There's a four-legged copperhead. And he's angry. There's another four-legged copperhead. Come here, Ruby. Anyways, he asked to see what the trails look like. It's beautiful out. Dropped down to like a comfortable 80 degrees back here. So here's the gun range. We shot out here this week. Jerry and Rich came over and we blasted away. You can see all the dirt that's missing right there in front of that big gong. Come on, you guys. So this is the back half of the property, in my opinion. There's this fence line right here that used to go all the way across. I'm gonna rebuild it and have it go back behind the gun range and back up to where it comes down the ditch line. And then I'll put a gate right here, probably. So that way, if you want to come in here, you can come in this way. And then I'll cut a little path right through here to get to that trailhead over there, because there's two ways to get in here. There are mushrooms everywhere. Just popping up out of the ground. And it's so comfortable back here. Should go sit in the deer stand. I'll take you there in a second. And there's my neighbor's house way over there. Oh, I got to come back here and clean up this dead wood. Otherwise, I've been keeping up on the weed eating. I got to get all these branches out of the road. This goes right back to the start, right behind the gun range. There's Ruby. Oh, look, there's a mushroom. I'll show you the purple ones I found the other day. They're right over here. Where were they? Right up here. Romeo, stick around. There's a mushroom popping out right there. All right, where'd those purple ones go? They already... Oh, there they are. Well, there's one right there. Ruby. There's a couple more. So they're right along this. Oh, Romeo's standing on them. Here's the ones I saw the other day. They don't last very long, but they sure are pretty. Look, there's a giant one coming up right there. Look at that. Big one. Come on, you guys. Come on. Romeo, Ruby, come. The ground is like spongy back here because it's just so full of mold and, or not mold, but debris. So now here's where the trail splits. Look at that big mushroom right there. That thing's so cool. It's got a little dip, little water in the top. Some big trees back here. Now this is where it drops down to the drainage, and the drainage follows the river, because the river goes this way, west of me. Now where the dogs are right now, that's all swampy. Like it never dries out down here. It's always kind of like wet. And when we get big rains, this will be underwater. So, but I keep this clear so that I can walk back to there, and the end of the property is probably back there. Come on, Romeo. Come on. Hey. Come on, trail. Hey, no. They don't know what way to go. They're super excited. I don't take them back here very often because I worry that they'll scare up a snake because they're so aggressive. That's the last thing I need. But like I said, I've only seen like 2 this year so far. They're kind of hard to find. But one was laying right in the trail, the first one I found. I was like, hold still, I'll be right back. Let me go get a big old T-post. So here's where the trail splits, and we're gonna go to the right now. And I do have a trail cam up here that points at this this bend in the trail. That's where I sit when I'm collecting the pictures. So it goes that way, and there's right where we came. We'll go this way. Look at the size of these trees. They're big fatties. And that's a big pine for around here. There's two more big ones. There's a big one right there. There's some big trees back here. That's a big magnolia right there. That's as big as I've seen one. Can't remember when I first moved in. Knock on wood, I wouldn't come back here without boots on. Now I'm like, whatever. I can come back here with flip-flops. You just gotta have your head pointed down. So there's my little offshoot trail. This goes to my, and there you see where the swamp starts, and it just goes all the way this way towards the ditch over there. And there's my deer stand. See if I can climb it with one hand. And this is the view from up here. It's all woods. And that's the drainage down there going through there. And the ditch, you can barely see through the woods over there. Romeo, Ruby, come. Come here. Come. Those little buggers. Yeah, they were ready to hightail it all the way back into the woods. All right. Yeah, when I got that deer stand, I knew already where I was going to put it. So I made this little trail right here. Romeo, Ruby, come. Look at the size of that mushroom in the woods. I don't know if you can see it. You see it? Look at that thing. Thing's huge. All right. Anyways, the trail. Let me zoom back out. And it all comes back all the way around to here. And this is kind of where I started. And this part of the trail just goes over to the ditch. If you look down there, you can see the barrel. This is where I've been hiding stuff. Those are my pallets. If I ever get around to building a greenhouse, I was going to use these for walls. And then here's the ditch. This ditch goes all the way from the road all the way to Edisto River. And I'd say it's 20 feet across, maybe, what you can see. This goes that way, that way. And that's where I stopped maintaining the trail. And then here's another part of the trail system, I guess you could say, is through here. And I maintain this too on purpose. All the way down this fence line right here. So I can go all the way down that fence line, past the house, and up around to the front. That's where I keep my spray cans for the gun targets. Romeo, did you get in the pool? Did you get in the pool, Romeo? Are you hot? All right, come on, look at it. You got like duckweed all over your face. Come on. If it rains hard enough, this will collect water, this big pond-like system. See how Romeo just went down in it? Look at this. This is rotten wood. Look at all the fungi. There's another one. Here's a mimosa tree. And there's a little baby right there. This is a mimosa tree. There's a baby mimosa tree. People like those. And then you can see the fruits. Well, hard to see, but they look like bean pods. They're in the legume or Fabaceae family. So I think I'm going to start trying to get this to grow in like wildflowers, like native, for sure. At least that's the idea. That's where I found that copperhead, right along the fence line when I was weed eating that second one. And they just cracked, damn deer fly. I just opened up the hive today and it's completely full of honey. The whole top 6 inches packed with honey. So I'm gonna harvest 3 of them, which will give me about a gallon of honey. And then put 3, deer fly, just got bit. Put 3 new frames in. So I'll have plenty to get through the winter and I'll end up with a gallon of honey. I just realized that I could do that. Here's where their water source is. See my little bees, they like their little swampy water. Here's where I add keep water there. Suet and feed for the birds. We got these smaller woodpeckers that come around here. They're pretty cool. Anyways, and then I just keep weed eating all this through here, all the way back to that fence line I was showing you. So this all is I'm trying to keep open. And eventually I'll thin out more trees and I'll start planting in here. But I need to get a well dug first so I can get a water source so I can irrigate them for the first 2 or 3 years. Try and get an orchard going. That's my goal. Anyways, all right, fuck you later.